WWE News and Rumor Roundup. New World Champion crowned, Drew McIntyre shockingly loses title match. The 16th of January, 2026. Hello guys. Welcome to my channel. I am Elena. Have a nice day. For the latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Welcome to today's edition of the WWE News and Rumor Roundup, where we bring you the biggest scoops from the world of wrestling and the sports entertainment juggernaut. Today, we are starting with some news outside of WWE as a new world champion has been crowned. But in terms of the undisputed WWE champion Drew McIntyre, he shockingly lost a title match ahead of SmackDown. Apart from that, we have a big scoop about a change for the upcoming Saturday night's main event that was canceled, and finally another big world title change we could be seeing on the road to WrestleMania 4. Mike Santana is one of those stars who took a chance on himself when his run with AEW didn't work out as hoped. Jumping ship to TNA, the rocket was strapped to him, and he has essentially been one of the company's top-tier stars. That's why it was a big shock when his run as TNA World Champion abruptly came to an end at the hands of Frankie Kazarian. The entire buildup of Santana's world title win looked like the company was going all in on him, and as it turns out, his world title loss was simply a bump on the road. As TNA debuted on AMC this Thursday in Dallas, Texas, Mike Santana got his chance to get revenge on Kazarian and regain the title. This time, Mike Santana would remind everybody who he truly was, dethroning Kazarian to become a two-time TNA World Champion. As one of the flag bearers of the wrestling industry, he has a big target on his back, and he will go up against Kazarian again in a decider, with Nick Nemeth, FKA Dolph Ziggler, as the special guest referee. Things are going to get interesting in TNA, so don't sleep on what looks to be an interesting 2026 for the promotion. Our congratulations to Mike Santana on winning one of the biggest prizes in the wrestling. The Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre now holds the biggest prize in the industry. And with no Money in the Bank cash-in in sight, he will hold the title until the Royal Rumble at the very least. On the road, he has been defending the title, and in Newcastle, in a live event recently, he defended it against the man he dethroned, Cody Rhodes. However, in a bit of a shocking result, he lost the title match to Cody Rhodes. Thankfully, the result was a DQ loss. So that means that Drew McIntyre is still the undisputed WWE Champion. However, fans are going to be keeping an eye on how his world title reign is handled. For the time being, he is on cloud number 9, and he will be a keen observer as either Ilya Dragunov, Sami Zayn, Matt Cardona, Trick Williams, Randy Orton, The Miz, Damian Priest, or Solo Sikoa will be his next opponent. Starting on Friday, 4 matches will be held, with the winners of each facing off in a fatal 4-way, presumably on January 23rd, to determine Drew McIntyre's Royal Rumble opponent. It has now been over a month since the last Saturday night's main event, where John Cena's career came to a close. As he predicted, the wheel keeps spinning and the next edition of SNME takes place right before the Royal Rumble. This time in Canada, while only one match has been announced, with the women's tag team titles being on the line, WWE was reportedly planning to make a huge change to the show. According to WrestleVotes Radio on Fightful Select, the company was planning to start SME an hour later, which would collide with UFC's debut on Paramount+, which will start at 9 p.m. However, TKO executives reportedly decided against that, and they will now air at the regular time, 8 p.m. EST, as the company refers to it as a corporate synergy. If you thought the Raw on Netflix deal worth $500 million a year was massive, then you might be shocked to learn that Paramount Plus is paying UFC a whopping $1.1 billion to air their pay-per-views, which will now essentially become premium live events. There is a lot of curiosity about what the plans are for Drew McIntyre as the undisputed WWE Champion. Will he be a transitional champion who will lose the title soon, or will he walk into WrestleMania 42 holding the title? Many will hope for the latter, as it will present a fresh direction for WrestleMania in Las Vegas this year, with Cody Rhodes having been in the world title picture in Mania for the last 3 editions. 2 as the challenger, 1 as the champion. Ibu of Self-Made reported that Drew McIntyre could be on a collision course with Roman Reigns on the road to WrestleMania 42. Should this happen, then Reigns could very well be the one to dethrone McIntyre, potentially setting up a blockbuster trilogy match against Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania Vegas. It should be noted that nothing is confirmed, and plans could change, although it's normal for WWE to finalize the direction for the main WrestleMania matches at this point. It should be noted that there was a contradicting report from Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer Radio, where he revealed that WWE scrapped the Rhodes vs. Reigns 3 match in favor of the Drew McIntyre title win. If you recall, the seeds for the trilogy match were planted at the end of Survivor Series War Games, when Reigns told Cody Rhodes that it would be the last time they ever teamed up together. This was in the bitter aftermath of the babyface team losing to Team Vision at War Games. 3 indications that Roman Reigns will be walking into WrestleMania 42 as the undisputed WWE Champion since Survivor Series War Games 2025. Roman Reigns has been absent from WWE television. However, the original Tribal Chief is still being promoted for the upcoming Royal Rumble 2026 Premium Live event. Amid the buzz, major reports are hinting at Roman Reigns winning the undisputed WWE Championship before WrestleMania 42. In this article, we will discuss 3 indications that Reigns will be walking into Mania, as the undisputed champ. 1 indication is Cody Rhodes' recent title loss on SmackDown. The American Nightmare retained his undisputed championship in major PLEs, but suddenly lost the title in last week's episode of SmackDown. This implies that WWE has shaken up major plans for the showcase of the Immortals, and it increases the chances of Roman Reigns' inclusion in the scenario. The Triple H-led creative regime likely wants to set up a rematch between Reigns and Rhodes at Mania. It could be done when Roman dethrones McIntyre and defends it against the prodigal son at Shows of the Shows. WWE is reportedly planning Roman vs. Cody for WrestleMania 42. According to a recent report, WWE is still planning a Roman Reigns vs. Cody Rhodes showdown for WrestleMania 42. Reports revealed that the company is considering Drew McIntyre as the middleman in the storyline. The source further noted that on the road to Mania 42, Roman will defeat the Scottish star and emerge as the new champion. This will set the stage for the rematch when Rhodes challenges him for WrestleMania. This appears to be another indication that hints that Roman Reigns will be walking into Mania 42 as your undisputed champion last year during the Road to Survivor Series War Games 2025. Roman Reigns hinted at coming for the World Championship. At the end of the War Games match, the head of the table confronted Cody Rhodes, hinting that he is coming for the Undisputed Championship. 4 storylines. E must bring back to guarantee a successful 2026 last year was an underwhelming one for WWE in terms of creative direction. The bookings were questionable, and many opportunities were missed. The company will look to improve its product in 2026, and for that, the creative team should replay some of their old hits. In this article, we will look at 4 storylines WWE must bring back to guarantee a successful 2026. Roman Reigns transformed himself into the Tribal Chief and formed the Bloodline in 2020, a faction focusing on his family members. While the group has had many iterations during its run, one that generated several memorable moments was when Sami Zayn joined it as the honorary use. Quote. Despite being the odd one in the group, the Canadian had great chemistry with everyone involved. Zayn's antics became the most anticipated part of weekly shows, introducing a whole new dynamic in the faction videos of Zayn forcing other members to break character on screen still make the rounds on social media, suggesting that fans miss that dynamic. In 2026, WWE should consider bringing it back. The rise of Rhea Ripley to superstardom began after she turned heel in 2022. After a lackluster run with the Raw Women's Championship, she started teaming up with Liv Morgan. Despite their potential, the duo couldn't find much success as a tag team. The turning point in their story came when Ripley turned on Morgan and embraced her dark side, becoming a ruthless villain and a compelling character. Due to her immense popularity, Mommy turned babyface again and has been a regular feature on Raw. However, the Triple H-led creative team has an opportunity to capture the essence of the Eradicator's previous heel turn that changed the trajectory of her career. Just as Ripley turned on Morgan back then, she could do the same with her current partner, Iyo Sky, whom she has yet to beat in singles competition. Ripley could become a dominant villain once again and cement her position at the top. WWE legend The Rock and Roman Reigns. While WWE initially teased The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40, they had to pivot. However, it led to something that not many expected to see: a dominant alliance between the cousins. The final boss and the head of the table terrorizing the company made for must-see television on the road to WrestleMania 40. If their schedules allow, the company should bring back the alliance between the megastars, once again Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. In 2024, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk had one of the most memorable rivalries in recent memory. Even though there was no title on the line, McIntyre and Punk went all out to make their feud a classic. It led to a trilogy that concluded inside Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood, which the Second City Saint won. Now that Punk is the World Heavyweight Champion, and McIntyre has failed to win the undisputed WWE Championship despite numerous attempts, there is a clear storyline opportunity for the creative team to have them cross paths once again. Out of jealousy and frustration, the Scottish Warrior could target Punk and renew their rivalry. With the same title on the line that the Second City Saint had once cost him at WrestleMania 40, the feud could reach even greater heights, and the company should consider pulling the trigger on it. Former WWE World Heavyweight Champion I's first time ever dream match against Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has stayed as a top name in WWE even after losing his title to Cody Rhodes in 2024. Several stars have mentioned him as a dream opponent, and a former World Heavyweight Champion has just joined that list. Interestingly, the Tribal Chief only competed in 7 matches in 2025, which is his lowest in his tenure with the company. However, that didn't affect the fact that he remains a top attraction around the world, as the arenas flood with passionate fans whenever he's announced to appear. It is natural for wrestlers to want a singles match against him, and 2-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion Jeff Hardy is certainly one of them. The Hardys, Matt and Jeff, appeared on a recent episode of the Budget Cut podcast by Dope Content Entertainment, where they shared their thoughts on various topics, along with potential dream matches. Jeff Hardy mentioned that Roman Reigns was a dream opponent for him. Roman Reigns is a pretty big dream match of mine. We have never had a singles match against each other, Jeff Hardy said. As hard as it is to believe, the two haven't had a singles clash yet. Even though they competed on the same show various times, there's hope of the match happening if the stars align this year. As Jeff works for TNA and regularly makes appearances for WWE as well, Roman Reigns isn't the only WWE star in Jeff Hardy's wish list. Jeff Hardy didn't just discuss singles dream matches. He also mentioned a few tag team dream matches for the Hardys. He went on to tease a tag match with the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. He also unleashed his creativity by teasing a cinematic match between the Hardys and the USOs, Jimmy and Jay, inside a fictional USO penitentiary. As far as a tag team match, I'm hung up on the Street Profits. I really admire those guys. I would love to see that happen. It's on my bucket list, with the USOs, a cinematic match in the USO penitentiary. Go to an old abandoned prison and have a killer cinematic match, Jeff Hardy said. At 48, Jeff Hardy's in-ring career could be nearing its end, and the aforementioned matches against Roman Reigns, Street Profits, and the USOs must happen as soon as possible to deliver must-see television to WWE and even TNA fans. 5 WrestleMania 42 matches that are realistically possible and must happen. The road to WrestleMania 42 is already proving to be a logistical masterclass. Between the dominance of the Vision and the recent title shifts in the Netflix era of Monday Night Raw, the match card for Las Vegas is taking a high-stakes shape. With Triple H essentially acting as the architect of the industry right now, the possibilities are endless. Here are 5 WrestleMania 42 matches that are not only realistically possible, but absolutely mandatory for the biggest show of the year. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer, Women's World Championship. The Rosillo alliance of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky has been a breath of fresh air in the tag team division. However, many believe that they are both apex predators meant for the mountaintop. While they've enjoyed their run with the gold, WWE must pull the trigger on returning both women to the singles division. Enter the breakout star of 2025, Stephanie Vaquer. As the reigning women's world champion, she has been untouchable. However, a triple threat showdown against the Eradicator and the Genius of the Sky would be a career-defining main event. It's time for Rhea and Io to stop sharing the spotlight and start fighting for it. The history here is deep and bitter. Seth Rollins was the original visionary who formed the group that ultimately betrayed him. Now, with Braun Breaker serving as the enforcer of the stable Rollins built, the circle must be closed. Seth has been sidelined with a shoulder injury since October 2025, but reports suggest that he's aiming for a February return. If the visionary is physically fit to go, a clash with the dog of WWE is seemingly the only logical path. This isn't just about a win. It's about Rollins reclaiming the legacy that Breaker and Paul Heyman stole from him. After his intense 3 Stages of Hell win over Cody Rhodes last week on SmackDown, Drew McIntyre has certainly made his presence known, holding the blue brand in a firm grip. But don't count out Ilya Dragunov, who has been fighting his way up the ranks with a ferocity that even McIntyre might want to watch out for. A match between these two wouldn't just be a technical showcase, it would be a physical war. Dragunov's unyielding H-bomb against the Scottish Warrior's Claymore before the richest prize in the business is a purist's dream that fits perfectly on the WrestleMania 42 stage. LA Knight versus CM Punk, World Heavyweight Championship. If you want to talk about a match that would sell out WrestleMania 42 on promos alone, it would be the megastar versus the best in the world. LA Knight has been a constant thorn in the side of the Vision, and his popularity has never been higher. CM Punk is the king of the Raw brand, but Knight represents a challenge he hasn't truly faced. Someone who can out-talk him. If Punk retains his gold through the winter, Knight is the perfect hero to try and end the reign of the Second City Saint. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, World Heavyweight Championship, at WrestleMania 42. While the LA Knight story is compelling, the nuclear option for WrestleMania 42 is the long-awaited singles match between Roman Reigns and CM Punk. With Paul Heyman's loyalties currently split between his history with Reigns and his new future with The Vision, the storytelling is already done. This isn't just a wrestling match. It's a battle for the soul of the industry. Whether it's the original tribal chief looking to restore his dominance, or Punk looking to cement his era, this is the biggest match WWE could book for the 2026 showcase.